Hey guys, welcome to Reveiw Gaming TV, and today we are going to look at the Phanteks Enthoo Luxe 2 case. As you see, I have two previous videos on this case, and today we are going to take a look at how it was to build in and what it looks like when it's finished. So, as you can see guys, it is done. I have finished, and I love the case. It is an absolutely gorgeous case. A few little niggly bits in it which I will get to, but the actual case itself is stunning looking. The tempered glass on it is gorgeous. I love the subtle LED effects on it, with the lights going around the top, right hand edge and bottom, and also actually around the shroud that's on the inside for the PSU. That's really nice and subtle. You've got a good few effects on there which are pretty cool looking. I'm not going to go through all the effects and stuff because some of you don't really care about the RGB, but it has like a twinkle effect, which is just basically like one bright LED following them down, and obviously it's got your rainbow effect on, which is on here, if you can just see that through my normal case colour scheme there. And then I have there's like a, what do they call it, there's another effect which is really nice. It's like a bit like marquee, where it's like one bright LED chasing itself. Really cool looking. And then you've got your normal fade, and then just a solid colour, and you can go through, and there's quite a lot of colours. What I have noticed is though, when you are going through the colours of the LEDs, they don't seem too bright. It's really weird. When it's doing the rainbow effect there, it's fairly bright, but if you're going through the like just the solid colours themselves, they don't seem really bright, especially compared to the Corsair stuff that I've got in there. Obviously when you plug it into your Mystic lighting or things like that, you probably ought to change the brightness and it would look cooler. I'm a little disappointed it still doesn't work with Corsair. For some reason a lot of manufacturers don't make their gear work with Corsair IQ, which is a little disappointing. You can just see there I have my logo on an SSD cover, which is RGB, and that actually has a cable for Corsair and it works with it, which is awesome. I haven't got it plugged in yet, but it's cool that it works with it. So I would hope more manufacturers actually start incorporating pretty much every RGB manufacturer you can get into, whether it be Corsair, whether it's Razer, whether it's Asus with their Aura Light stuff. I would like it so that everything's universal these days and you can get everything going with everything else. But that aside, it looks stunning, the effects on it are beautiful, and I really like the lighting of the case. The interior of the case is really spacious. As you can see, I have an e-atx motherboard in there, the Asus Rampage 5 Extreme. Looks tiny in this case. It is a massive case guys. I've got an Asus Strix 1080 Ti OC edition, and everything fits in there, no bother. My power supply was a bit of a worry to me because it is massive. It's a 1300 watt Superflower gold power supply, and it looked long to me. I actually checked the measurements, and the height and width and stuff is the same as every other PSU, but the length of it was a lot longer. But there's actually a lot of room in the back of this where the PSU position is, so you shouldn't have any bother getting any power supplies in there. Cable management wise, again, hopefully you'll be seeing some pictures as I'm chucking these up there. It's pretty good. My old Enthoo Luxe case, these cables made the back of it bulge, I've got to say. The back of the old case was bulging quite a lot. This case, however, though, fits it quite nicely. Just about managed to get the wee shroud closed that's at the bottom to hide cables as well. And I've routed most of the cables that I can around quite nice areas. Excuse me. One thing I will say though, I was going to mount the radiator in this machine at the front. Now, there's two problems that came in with that. One, the hard drives that I have here, HDDs, cannot be mounted there if you have the rad at the front. There's just not enough room, so they have to go over here where your mini ITX would be. Another thing will be, if I'd have mounted it there, the cables for the fans wouldn't have reached the motherboard, because it's up here. Now bear in mind your motherboard is higher and further away from the front now. When I actually put the case back here, none of the cables at the back would reach, because the motherboard is physically higher up than the old Enthoo Luxe case. So I had to go underneath my desk, untie all the cables and pull them a wee bit just to get that extra inch and a half length on it to plug them all in. But internally, the gap from the front of the case to the motherboard is actually quite a big distance. So I couldn't get the cables for the radiator fans to reach. Them two things combined meant that the radiator was top mounted, and actually I don't mind it up there, it looks quite good. I was thinking it was going to come too far down and cover too much of the motherboard and the CPU, that I wouldn't like it, but it actually doesn't come that far down when you look at it. You can just see the radiator, the fans are hidden at the top. Now the difference between this case and the original Enthoo Luxe is you cannot mount the fans above the internal of the case. So on the old Enthoo Luxe, I actually had the fans mounted above, inside the top section of the case, and then the radiator was on the inside of the case, underneath the fans. Whereas this one, everything has to be internal, just due to the way that the filters and things are. But bar that, there's loads of room to build in this case, guys. Eventually in the future I may put a mini e-atx in there for streaming and stuff like that. But the case itself can handle anything you send at it. Building in it, once you've taken the tempered glass off, the case is fairly light, and pop the front off and pop the top off, you've got loads of room to work in. So building it was quite nice. A few things that did annoy me was the fit and finish of a few things. Now the screws to the back panel, the thumb screws don't go in straight. They're a little bit off. I think they've maybe cross-threaded when it's been manufactured. So things like that just annoy me a little bit. They're kept in place as well. The screws, they don't come out, they're captured thumb screws. So it was a little bit annoying that they were cross-threaded. Another thing that got me was the GPU bracket that comes with this case, that mounts in the back. So when you put your GPU in, you've got the two little prongs that come through the case. Now the GPU mount in this is supposed to basically sit on top of them and help lift it up and lift your graphics card up. It doesn't fit. The holes do not line up straight, so you get a case of, say this is the case, the bracket is supposed to be flush like that to pull down on the things. It isn't, it's actually cockeyed, so it doesn't go in straight, and then the screw threads are actually off center as well, so nothing actually lines up properly to do the job you're supposed to do. So I'm going to have to get an aftermarket GPU bracket for this, because as you know, 1080 Ti's are heavy and mine does have quite a bit of sag on it. So I'm going to have to get a GPU bracket on it. I was hoping the Phanteks one would work, but with the fit and finish of it, it's not going to happen. Nothing lines up, it just isn't square when you put it in. It should be square precisely to the inside of the case, and it just ain't happening. But that's just down to the precision of the actual build. Again, the case itself, the rest of it is great, it's just little bits like that that annoy me. A lot of the screw threads were a little iffy, but I think that's just the size of it. But you know, bar that's really the only thing I can find wrong with the case, is the fit and finish of certain parts of it. The tempered glass fits perfectly, it looks amazing, and it's really nice and clean and shiny. The front of the case actually looks amazing with RGB fans in the front. The way it bleeds out of the vents, as you can see just there, the way it bleeds out of them vents actually looks really, really nice. I think I should have some pictures come up of the front of it, how it looks like that. From the inside, they don't look as good, the fans, but it's not really an angle you're going to be looking at it at, so that doesn't really matter. In my opinion, I thought it would look really bad seeing the back of the fan inside the case, but you don't really see it from that angle. You more see it from the angle I've got it now, you know, so you're seeing it from sort of maybe there backwards. So that sort of perspective isn't too bad. I was looking forward to putting some of the Corsair fans on top, but now I've got the Radiator there, I think I'll just leave it like that. It looks grand. I do want some more fans at the bottom there for some extra airflow. I have to admit the cooling in this is actually better than the Enthoo Luxe. My temperatures have gone down on the CPU by a good near 10 degrees actually, to be fair. I was gaming on it the other night and my temperature, the maximum was on like 67, whereas before it might have been 76-ish, give or take, as a maximum temp. So it has gone down quite a bit on this, but I've still like two 120mm fans down here, RGB, that will blow air up, and then I've got the front and the bottom for intake, and then the top and the back for exhaust, just to make sure everything stays cool in there. But as you see, it fits everything beautifully. Cable management is really nice, and again, I love the look of this case, guys. It is really, really, really nice. So I think the only thing I would add to this case is in the future maybe a vertical GPU mount. That has to be purchased separately from Phanteks, and I think it will look really nice, to be honest. The vertical GPUs are here, so I think if my graphics card was there, sort of blocking that up, just blocking the wee cables that are down here and that, I think it would look amazing. So I may look into that and maybe in the future get it. I have no clue how much the bracket is for that. I haven't looked, but I do think it would look gorgeous in this case, and it'd be far enough away from the glass, I think, to still get airflow. So having the three fans at the front there will help the GPU as well. If I vertically mount it, keep getting air going across it, which is cool. But yeah, I think that'll be a future mod to this case, but that'll be it. Like, I love the case as it is. Looks brilliant. The sound deadening isn't too bad in it, to be fair. Obviously you get to hear it. Like, I mean, I've got a lot of fans in there that are fairly large, and it's not a sealed case, you know what I mean? There's good, really good ventilation on this, both front, top and back and bottom. You know, airflow in this case is brilliant, if you want to go that route. Obviously you can do your water stuff as well in this, but for airflow purposes this case is also amazing. And yeah, I would highly recommend this case, guys. If you want to get it, Overclockers has it in stock in the UK at the minute. I think there's a place in Germany. If you go to Phanteks' website, it'll give you a whole list of places where it should be sold. And I think the only two places when I checked the EU was a place in Germany and Overclockers in the UK. So if you do want to buy it in the UK, guys, please use the link down below in the description. That is my Overclockers affiliate link. That will be much appreciated, and the delivery time of Overclockers was brilliant. Came within a day or two of ordering it. Considering that's coming from mainland England to Northern Ireland, that was really, really good. Came in great condition. As I say, this is an awesome, awesome case, guys. So yeah, please, 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 if you want a new case that is spacious, has loads of room for extra opportunities to build your rigs in the future and to expand, this is definitely the case, guys, definitely. So thank you for watching, guys. That was a quick Phanteks Enthoo Luxe 2 review. If you have any questions, please chuck them in the comments down below and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And then please follow my other social medias, my Twitter, my Facebook, my Twitch. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't down below, guys, and hit that wee bell. And also give us a thumbs up if you've liked what you've seen. Thumbs down if you haven't. I don't care either way. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I shall see you around.